Tell me what you had for breakfast.
Unique New York. I had pancakes and patty mayonnaise. She was like a piece of roast beef, it was white turkey in between 2 slices of sourdough.
Wait, you need to go back. Did you say pancakes and 2 pieces of what with mayonnaise?
I said Patty Mayonnaise, the character from Doug.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck are you eating?
I was saying roast beef, but then I'm full of shit too. I did not have that for breakfast. You know what I had? I had the most fucking, I don't want to get negative at the beginning, so just don't ask me that. And I had.
Okay.
I want to be for sure to show at the very end, the front, okay?
Okay.
And then, so like, after I nailed the nastiest joke, it's bananas. So coconuts is safe word, bananas is turn around. You did it, right?
Bananas is turn around.
Because, so look.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little. Right. But look. Okay, you see the front?
Yeah. Oh shit.
A bit of the joke that I'm gonna try to make tonight. You know, we'll see how it works. I don't know. This is my first time in a while on a public forum. I'll have you know, this is my first time being recorded. Well, on this kind of platform, you know.
You've never podcasted before?
No, I have not. So, I'm excited, and I hope it goes well.
Oh.
So, I don't really...
Savvy, it always goes well. I'm the director. I am the captain of the ship. I will not steer you wrong.
I feel safe in your arms, Captain. Aye.
Aye. And I'm not like the fucked up captain from the Titanic. I will pay attention. I will not let this boat sink, okay? All right.
Coconuts.
Yeah, just yell at me. Okay, we're going to roll with it. I'm going to start playing this theme song, and then we'll just dive in.
You know what this is.
What did you ever... What color are your underwear? I'm trying to
crass and inappropriate.
let you hear, but
it's your
that's
trippy
not gonna
hippie
work.
Alicia jumping on the mic from good old Utah.
Fuck.
Danielle, I'm starting to feel this shit.
Welcome
To Hard Talks. Seduction.
where the talks are really hard.
I thought this was flaccid talks.
This shit sounds deep.
Ring.
Ooh,
This is Hard Talks.
Hard Talks.
Hard Talks. You're
This is
listening to
Hard Talks with a blonde and a hippie.
Brought
Bye.
here by Hard Talk Production.
Ooh, I'd hit, but not like in just only for the bell. Not.
It's ring for sex.
You're not really my type, and plus we're friends and shit like that.
Usually I ring the bell when like something so outrageous is said, it just has to be celebrated. You know what I mean? But
You know what's fucked up? If I go and search in my fucking cupboard right there, I have this exact same bell.
see, and a previous sexual partner bought this for me, so it's even more fitting, I suppose. But oh my God, you guys, it has been a hot fucking minute since I have been in my own recording studio. You are listening to Hard Talks with a Blonde and a Hippie. I am your trippy hippie, Alicia, jumping on the mic from good old Utah. And I'm joined with a special co-host for the evening, all the way from Santa Barbara, California, Savvy Shields.
All the way live, 805, baby!
805. Oh my God. So really quick before we dive in, I want to throw a disclaimer in because I always fucking forget it. I curse like a sailor. I don't want to be responsible for your sweet innocent children saying fuck or goddamn or the fuckery be real, because it is. So just slide in on your own time, and we're gonna have a good time. Have a funny, epic conversation. Gonna catch up with an old friend. But a little context, right? So I took a month off from recording. In fact, I even recorded a few episodes, but I just wasn't feeling it, man, you know? Between editing and everything. Like, I had episodes, I just didn't put anything out. And, you know, instead of kicking myself, I was like, okay, you know, like, this is obviously just what I need right now. And so I appreciate my Hard Talks fam's patience. But we're back and we're in business, and this is gonna be a fucking good episode. It's funny because how I know Sevi is through my aunt who's been on the show, and she's actually at Burning Man right now, and God bless her.
Ups to AB, you know, Amanda Berlin, fucking legend in her own story. My goodness.
She is a fucking legend. There are some myths, but mostly legends. But I was in the salon when you called, and I had just finished telling her, I was like, you know, I think I'm done with the podcast. And I mentioned this to a few people, and everyone had the same reaction. They're like, you cannot fucking quit. This is your baby. I've invested hundreds of hours and dollars into this, thousands, but like literally, I was just like, you know, like, I'm burnt out. I'm forgetting why I started. And so I've been doing a lot of meditation lately and just trying to get back to my roots and ground myself. And that's been really helpful. And then you call while she's in the salon, and I'm like, oh, dude, it's been forever. And straight the fuck up, you were like, when am I going to be on this podcast, Alicia? And Amanda turns to me with this look, and she's like,
oh, shit.
Dude, it could not have been better timing. Truly. So I just want to catch up with you and share some laughs. So you have been like great friends with my aunt for forever. So I think when I first met you, I was probably like 12 years old.
Yeah. I remember the first time. In fact, it was the downstairs basement of that place up in, what do you call North Salt Lake? I'm the worst.
No, it wasn't Sugar House area, but it was kind of by Liberty Park.
No. Are you sure?
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm all the way up in Ogden. I don't make my way down to.
No, that's the thing. It was my first memory was like closer to Ogden. What do you call before Ogden?
Riverdale?
I swear I thought.
Riverdale, Ogden. Before that's Roy. Then Layton.
Now, where did your auntie hold the house down for her auntie?
For our grandparents. So that was in Ogden, and my great grandparents only lived like a couple blocks away from where I bought my house now. So
house under A.
Yeah, I bought myself a house a couple years ago when I was working for the Air Force. And now I'm not working for the Air Force anymore.
Yep. For him, folks.
No. Well, so I bought a dog. Well, I didn't even buy a dog. Like, I saved a dog yesterday. And
saved one. No good deed goes unpunished.
She is like the cutest, most mellow fucking puppy I've ever encountered in my life. And she chose me, right? So I kind of saved her from this precarious situation. And I mean, I won't go into detail there because anyway.
Why would?
Well, just because like they're overbreeding, and at this point
now you're doing it. Just come on, carry on.
They're gonna get in trouble. So they're just trying to like get rid of all these litters of puppies. And so my coworker comes in yesterday.
Like some alien, like, future breeding shit. I'm telling you, the people that breed fucking animals are suspicious, to say the least.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad, too, if you don't do it properly, you know? Or have the means to, like...
Like, that's a different species. never mind.
Yeah, take good care of them. Anyway, so I go and there's all these fucking dogs, and I sit down in the grass, and all the dogs are like super hyper, nipping at me and wanting to bite and play. And my little Janie, I named her Jane, Mary Jane Lane.
I said, what a cute boy this morning. And then I looked at the video again. I was like, oh, fuck, it was a girl.
That's okay. But like, she's a pit bull Rottweiler mix. So she's going to be a big girl. But
absolutely fucking adorable. Those, like that, especially that combo of pit and fucking Weiler, like, that is the cutest thing. Like, and I was having some health issues at the time, and you know, it really cheered me up. So
I'm glad I could send the video, cause but she when I say she chose me, like I sat down and all the other dogs are freaking out, and she's just like the slowest one to come up, and she just like kind of pushes them all out of the way and just sits on my lap.
Period.
And it's just so chill. Like, she doesn't bark. Someone rang my doorbell, my neighbor, when you first called. She didn't bark at the door. She didn't whine to get up and go potty at all in the morning. Like, I had to wake her up at 5:30 and like take her out. She went pee and poo immediately, got her treat, dead ass asleep immediately after. And I'm just like, oh my God, please stay this way. Like, I just never knew I needed a dog, and I've only had her for 24 hours, and now I can't remember what my life was like before I had her. So I get it.
Like kids, no, but like straight up, I mean, you know, my cat chose me like that too.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%. And in fact, this is actually a funny story. I can't believe that this came up, but you wanted a funny story. So
go.
I'm a father. My son will be 3 in about a week. He was born 9/9/19.
That's amazing.
And his name is Kingston, and he's fucking amazing. However, you know, Jack, the cat, Mustard, was my firstborn son, you know, and like, it was weird. We developed this crazy bond, like, over time, you know, and really taught me who I was as a human being. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's not.
No, I get it, because you've had a kind of crazy life.
Yeah, but so then fast forward through all that shit, you know, whatever. He traveled with me through, you know, snow and sleet and rocky oceans and trial and tribulation and adversity to the nth percent, you know, and eventually we landed back in Santa Barbara, this is my 4th time moving back here, and I absolutely love this place. Don't tell anyone about it. It's the worst.
Nobody moved there, okay?
We're prisoners. We're getting lashings 10 times a day. It's awful. Do not come here.
Yeah, do not come here. Do not come to Utah either, please.
It's horrible. The religious folks, they make you wear funny underwear, and they fuck you in your mouth.
It's fucking hideous here in Utah. Do not come here.
There's no landscape. There's no diversity. Anyhow, I'm gonna reel it in. When my son was born, the first thing, you know, that I was told was, you know, because my doctor is like this really cool hippie lady. She's fucking, shout out Melissa Drake.
Yeah.
Coolest, best birth doctor, like, ever. Like, so my wife at the time had low blood platelets, and it was very, like, high risk pregnancy and, like, very sketchy thing, which I didn't even really existed until I became a fucking pops with, like, my cat, you know what I mean? And then, like, I was so immature at the time, man, for real. Like, however, so anyways, this whole thing happens, and, you know, says, okay, like, if everything goes well, then you get the fucking, so they give you, like, you had a child, they give you like
An epidural?
No, not that.
No.
The head, like the stocking cap, man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Every kid that's born, if he's born right, unless he has to wear one of those fucked up styrofoam helmets. God bless the kids that do. No offense to them, but that shit. So you came out cone-headed. Y'all ever seen the movie with Dan Aykroyd? That shit is funny. However, but I'm just saying that it was crazy, and during that process, like I literally watched. It doesn't matter. I said I wasn't gonna get into this stuff, but
It's part
I almost watched a person die, right? And it was super intense, and I had Bob Marley playing in my fucking thing in my gown. I hadn't slept in days. I was a fucking mess, and super intense. Yeah. And then I come home, my mother was in town, God bless, shout out Terrell, but she was helping with the cat and the whole birthing thing and whatever, and so she was at the hospital, and I get like brief moments where I'd like go out and check on my cat and like fuck with him, right? And I came back one day, and there's green spots all over the floor, and this man was, lethargic and just making noises all crazy and whatever. And then, dude, so Kingston was born 5 weeks early, right?
Shit.
But she had this like blood issue and whatever, right? Did not fucking get into this.
Well, we don't have to.
We're here.
Okay, we're here. This is a monumental moment in your life.
Yeah, this is the one you asked for. All right. So he had these platelet issues, or she had these platelet issues and whatever, and it was all wild, and then yada yada, we went there. She was in labor for like fucking days, days. I was wilding. I hadn't slept. I was a mess, this and that, and then it finally happened, and it like blew my mind, dude. They threw up a fucking blue, like, I swear to God, Alicia, they put up a blue curtain.
Did she have a C-section?
Yeah, but she was about to die.
Oh, God.
Dude, literally, like, it was crazy. I have Bob Marley on my iPhone in my fucking, they gave me, what do you call those things, scrubs?
Yeah.
Yeah, nurses' outfits. I had the hair thing and the feet stuff and whatever. Dude, side note, I had a 6-man security team in the hospital the entire time I was there. It was awful.
Why?
I don't know, I just must have looked a little crazy or something.
Because Stevie looks a little suspicious in his scrubs.
Oh, it's sus, but yeah, whatever. Come home, blah, blah, blah. See all this stuff. This is right before whatever. Mind you, my uncle was flying in from wherever, and he had to redirect his flight and fly into San Diego and drive up from there. And my mother was here, and that was it. And there was no other family or friends and whatever. And so fucking blah blah blah. It all happens, right? Yeah. And at the last second, I run home to check on my cat. And motherfucker's all fucked up, lethargic, green puke all over the floor. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I immediately, and it was kind of like later at night, about this time, in fact. And so I'm like, fuck. I like look up the things, and I take him to this pet hospital, and they straight human trafficked my cat. But I didn't know that you could sell pussy for pound like that. Like, for real, I would have been in the cat slinging pussy world.
What the fuck?
Like, pussy. Like, I'm talking about cat pussy, okay? I'm saying, if I knew that you could sling pussy like that, I would have been in that world, because I used to be a savage. I'm not like that anymore. Now I realize I'm a cat, but before, when I thought I was a dog...
You were a dog when you were a dog.
I would have been collecting bank off of cat pussy.
I fully understand that metaphor now. You were a dog when you were a dog.
I go to the thing, I drop him off. I'm like, hey, my wife is in fucking labor. I'm having a kid. I just need you to take care of him. I'll be right back. I'm right up the street. Call me anytime. We'll be right there. Blah, blah, blah. calls me back, fucking takes him hostage, and says, "You're gonna need to give me $3,500, or you're never gonna see him again, and you can like euthanize him, or you can what was the other thing?" She goes, "Oh, I have a veterinary friend up in Los Olivos or some shit like that that'll take care of him and whoop-de-wop, but you have to sign the papers." And
What
like,
the fuck?
yeah, and so that was literally, this was right before my son was born.
They're blackmailing you with your own pussy.
My own pussy. My pussy put me in the penitentiary, okay? I don't even have a, but you know what I'm saying? This is like such an astounding, if you understand what I'm saying, like, this is what you asked for. Like,
this is the most chaotic moment I've ever heard in my life.
I'm serious. Like, it's crazy, man. So, you know, I'm not going to say that I did anything, but somebody that I may have known may have caused mayhem, like GTA mayhem, inside the same clinic, and ripped up papers multiple times and maybe caused a giant scene. And
I would do that. Are you fucking serious?
And yeah, it got really out of control, and I ended up kicking it. I mean, whoever did these things.
Someone, your really good friend.
My really nearest and dearest pal maybe have kicked him out, and I got like an hour alone with my cat. I played him music, and I put him to nighty-night, you know? And then I got my son, and my cat told me in that moment that I was a cat, and he gave his life for my son. And because, you know, like I said, with the cap, right? Like with the baby cap. So he had already gotten the cap, and he knew that the baby was coming and stuff, and he was very excited, and he would have been the biggest, you know, the bestest big brother. And I was so excited for that. And I lost one and got one, and my son is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. God damn it.
So I have a question. So what was the green puke from? Did he get into like some cleaner from under the sink?
I don't know how it happened, but he got a bladder infection, and his what do you call that? The thing that your bladder's in.
The thing that the bladder is in.
I think it's no, seriously.
I'm like, I don't know the answer to that one.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. He got a infection, right? Mm-hmm. And essentially what happened is the tube got blocked.
The urethra.
Yeah, his urethra. But that wasn't. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
It's essentially that, right? So his whatever got blocked, and then his. Oh yeah, I think it was his urethra, and then his whatever swelled up to the size of like whatever, and so then it was coming out every other way, and then it was fucked. And then, but you know, side note, after my son was born, I went on a Liam Neeson mission to try to like taking him back. Dude, I went up to like all these surrounding towns. I was checking all the like Craigslist, and like I checked all the like animal shelters and like blah 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 blah, you know, like trying to get my son. I'm like, dude, I know he's fucking alive, you know, whatever. But the weirdest thing was, fuck all that, like, is that he literally looked me in the eye and said thank you, and
passed away. He did pass away.
Yeah, and I just but it was and so the weirdest part is, so then I get the call that she's in stage whatever. It means that
she's ready to push, or well, no, she had a C-section, so
they're cutting her. Cutting her.
She's going into the OR.
911, you need to get here now. So then that's when that happened, right? So then all this shit happens, and I didn't tell anyone. My mother was here, but then my uncle came right after he was born, and then it was just me, and I didn't want to fucking tell anyone. I almost watched her die, and then I killed my son, you know, and then I got a new
Your cat son, just for the listeners to be clear.
Like, I don't know, man. That was...
Dude,
that
there
was crazy.
Is some fucking crazy, like, paradynamics going on in that whole moment, like, right? Like, it's like your cat was a metaphor for everything else that was going on, and it's crazy that he prepared you for that moment, kind of. You know what I mean? And fatherhood.
I haven't even told you that, like, the shit that he went through. That cat was not a regular cat.
Yeah.
And he stood with me through some really gangster ass shit. Like, I'm not kidding. Like,
Yeah.
that's not that. Like, he really was there during a lot of stuff, you know? And cats are smarter than dogs. I'm going to go on record right fucking now. Cats are smarter than dogs. 10 times smarter.
I agree. And they're self-sufficient as fuck.
They're like fucking aliens.
There's a reason why Egyptians 3,000 years ago worshipped the fuck out of cats, okay? They are fucking aliens. I literally feel like it goes back to like that sperm theory or whatever, that, you know, some people think that we were implanted here on Earth, that technically we are aliens because how, you know, anyways, we won't get into conspiracies, but cats are fucking a part of that. They are a different fucking...
If you've never, like, look, if you've never caught a cat in the alleyway, like 101.
A feral one.
Seriously, bro, then you've never lived. Woman, anyone, child, whatever. And you don't know what the fuck we're talking about? Cats are of some otherworldly shit.
International gangsta hippie in his wilding days was catching feral cats in alleyways, motherfuckers.
No. Well, yes, absolutely.
Damn, dude, that is a fucking trippy story. And then your son was born, and it's just like, did you eventually go on to tell your wife at the time about the scenario?
No, it's like, when do I say it? You know? It's like, fuck, man. Like, my mother didn't know. Like, my uncle didn't know. Like, nobody knew. And, like, my wife at the time, you know, shout out Rita.
Sup, Rita?
You know, it's fucking awful, you know? Like, he was a part of our community. Like, I'm still in the same spot, man. He used to rip out here. Like, it's crazy, you know? It's crazy to think about. And, I didn't want to get into this shit, but sometimes you get into the shit you don't want to get into.
But obviously, Sevi, this is something, because we talked about this before we even started recording, like just having an organic conversation. And I even said it. I was like, some of the best things come out. And this is probably something that you subconsciously needed to purge, because this was, 3 years ago? Your son is going to be 3 in a week, you said. And it's like, probably something you haven't fully processed or grieved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do a pretty good job. I've had, it's so weird. I had, like, you know, in the last 4 months, I mean, it's just so much death and whatever. And that's kind of been like, I'm not going to get dark or whatever, but, you know, all my friends are dead. You know, straight up. Like, if anyone's listening from Utah, you're not alone. Oh, look, I was born in '87. I spent a lot of time in Salt Lake as a youngster and whatever. And, you know, all my friends are dead, whatever, prison, whatever. But.
So, can I ask you a question?
Shout out Salt Lake City, big time. I choose to live out here because I'm happy and I'm healthy and I love my life, and you know, I miss. I would honestly, but fuck the snow. You know, I would, but fuck the snow. Seriously, like.
He loves Utah because it's so shitty. It's so shitty. Don't come here. But let me ask you something. Are you proud of yourself?
I'm so fucking proud of myself. It's unfunny.
Good.
Like, that's the funniest thing I can tell you. I'm so proud of myself. And the weird thing is, like, comedy nowadays, people people get
So offended.
they get a lot of leeway on things that they say, and then, sometimes it might be politically incorrect. You should have heard me at the fucking bar on was that Monday night for our first date night with our first couple. This is the next part I'm gonna go into.
Yeah.
But it's like it's lopsided. It's you get these big comedians that have this platform and they have the money to but nobody the weird thing is I'm a comedian on the ground level, right? I'm in World War II, and the shit that I say, I'm in the trenches taking grenades. I don't have any back fade, but guess what? I can back myself up. And that's a weird thing because oftentimes jokes become conflict. I guess.
They are, and I totally understand that. Comedy has changed so much. I mean, there has been a huge change in North America alone, and I have a lot of listeners all over the country. A lot of people listening in Italy because I have some family and friends out there. So in Germany, so yeah, so it's interesting, how the dynamics have changed, right? Because when you start out here, I've wanted to create a platform where it's all inclusive. I love everybody, but it is a comedy show, right? And so you shouldn't have to walk around on eggshells when you're doing a comedy show. And that's something that I feel like I always have to keep on the forefront of my mind because, I don't want to create conflict or I don't want to be offensive, but at the same time.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Would you piss off your friends or family to stick up for that concept?
Yeah,
today?
I do all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, sister.
All the fucking time.
I get a badass rap. The thing is, okay, look, I live in Santa Barbara. People, I live at 2832 State Street, 105. You can catch me Monday through Sunday. I got the sick kid with the ill bitch, and I'm loving life.
And
okay?
the ill bitch.
All the neighborhood knows me. I keep this whole neighborhood safe, period. However, I also make everyone laugh, and I also entertain everyone.
You've been that way as long as I've known you. You've always had the biggest, most caring heart, but you've also always been the person who wants to have the best time. And
I sacrifice that for anything.
Yeah.
Life is way too short. And the thing is that the only thing that I could ever press to anyone is have the best time every day and just please try to make it count and fucking enjoy yourself, whether it's at your own expense, someone else's, whatever. You can always ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
But indulge in the guilty pleasures. Indulge yourself. Have fun, but don't do it at someone else's expense because that's unbecoming, and then you're kind of a fucking piece of shit. But just have fun.
And you do it with tact, friends. Do it with tact. And I want to piggyback on that, right? Because that's something that I've struggled with in the past, and I'm not going to go into this in depth or get too deep or dark, but we battle with addiction, right? Sometimes there is a fine line between having the best fucking time, but there's a difference between living your best life and numbing the fuck out, right? So I invite you guys to really look inside yourselves, get to fucking know yourselves. You are the fucking experience, right?
That's the only thing you need to do.
Yeah.
Look, it's the difference between using and abusing drugs. I'm a drug advocate 24/7. I'm a recovered heroin addict. Hey, I got mad years, yo.
Yep. I'm so fucking proud of you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? However, I'm a drug fucking advocate. Use them, don't abuse them, baby.
And that's such an important thing to kind of, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of, but to continue on with that, that's what I'm saying is like to really like know yourself when you do go to have a good time. It's not to put off whatever you're dealing with or your past demons or whatever you're going through. It's to
then
really
you fucking go out. If you got that, then you don't go out. You keep your ass home and you don't fucking go out.
Thank you.
Hey, look, podcast, I'll have you know, I'm the motherfucking #1 bartender in the country. Period. Ends of story. Hands down. Fidnack. All right? Bet. I promise you. Santa Barbara, California, Mulligan's Cafe. Slide through. Come and see me. Pull up and bring the drama with your mom. But, however, alcohol is the worst of the worst.
Dude.
I'm a bartender, bro. Like, yo, people are foul on alcohol. Like, and here's my theory, right? Here's my theory. That most people are allergic to alcohol.
That makes sense to me.
It takes a special kind of person. That's the weirdest thing is because I used to be a heroin addict and, you know, whatever, and fucking, I never drank alcohol when I did heroin, you know? And it's the weirdest thing, but, like, I never did drugs when I drank, but alcohol, for some people, is just fucking, they turn into different ass people when they drink, you know?
And there's a difference between a good drunk and a bad drunk. And I mean that in the sense that some people can drink and be lovely and have a good time, and other people drink and become angry and hostile and violent. And so it's also about being self-aware, right? Going back to like really knowing yourself and kind of making the experience better, not necessarily like just to.
But this is a comedy thing, so I still want to fucking make a point. All you motherfuckers out there, and I want to talk like Joe Pesci when I say this.
Please
joke,
do.
You motherfuckers, you motherfuckers don't understand. Just because you don't understand doesn't mean we don't understand, all right? You fucking figure out your own shit, all right? You talk to your mother, you talk to your father, but you don't fuck with us, all right? We got it figured out, too. You just fucking worry about yourself and ask me about my mother and father. You don't fucking worry about it. There.
Okay, and I've talked about this on the show too. One of my all-time favorite movies. Like I literally watched this in the hospital when I was getting ready to give birth before I got to the point of pushing. Was My Cousin Vinny, man. Have you seen that one?
Ring the bell again. Fuck that. Loud.
My Cousin Vinny, you know that movie?
Fucking love that movie. Yo, that's the
so
one.
Good.
That movie that nobody fucking
knows about. Nobody knows about My Cousin Vinny because he's always in the.
Joey Diaz is like one of the main characters in that movie. Great comedian, shout out.
Yes, and there's so many good lines in that movie, and I've showed so many people who are close to me that movie, and now it's like a friend favorite. And like people identify that movie with me now because. Isn't
it weird how we do that though? Let's stop and touch on that. Yeah. Because I've been someone like, seriously, I grew up, I was born in 87. You're right?
1987. I was born in 95, bish.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yo, check me out. Isn't it weird? And I'm going to table this for all of humanity right now. Seriously, this is my gift tonight for your podcast.
Okay.
Why do we feel like we take ownership over art that's not ours? And we need to hide it from other people?
Literally.
It's so funny, because we'd be like, ooh, this is my fucking jam. This is the best album that ever came out. I ain't gonna tell nobody.
It's because of the fucking hipsters, man. It's because they turned it into I heard this first. And it was like, bitch, I've been listening to this person for like the past 3 years. You've been sleeping, right?
Hey, that brings me to another point, and I really wanted to talk about this because this is a platform that I haven't had, and I have this conversation frequently. And this is where I set you up.
Set me up, Sevy.
So where does kindness turn to violence?
What? Go ahead.
Well, I just want to know. Like,
I think there's a very fine line between, like, are we talking violent as in, like, physical or, like, angry and hatred?
Physical violence.
Okay, well, I think...
When, like, things can't get resolved. And I'm fast-forwarding because I know we're kind of low on time or whatever, you know. I don't know what you got going on, but I just want to ask, where is the thing, and is it ever okay?
That's a really good question, Sevy. You know, there's such a fine line between love and hate, right? So unless you're getting drunk, fucked up, sorry, let me turn that down, at like a bar and you're like wanting to get into some shit with a stranger,
Okay.
that's a different story.
No, but for the sake of argument, that's what I mean. Okay, say for the sake of argument, you're at, let's say for the sake of argument, you came to see me, right? Mm-hmm. And you're at my favorite bar in the world, and you're totally safe, but, you know, because it's in my neighborhood and blah, blah, blah. But, sorry. But all of a sudden, shit pops off, right? And you get fucking freaked out, you know? There's some physical altercation, whatever, right? What point, like, let's say it was you and me, and we're having a long conversation, and all of a sudden, we're in, like, this, you know, James Cameron movie, and
this
you
heated argument.
Sweet couple that are like FBI agents, and we're sitting at the counter, and then these fools come up, and then they fucking say some whatever, you know, blah 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 blah. You know how it goes, and then all of a sudden, at what point? I'm making a joke, but do you understand? What point is physical violence okay? Seriously, I mean, because you definitely have a point. This is the same thing as asking how much, you know, someone could have sex with you for. It's the same exact point. I mean, essentially.
So,
you know,
I will say this, like, I think people who go out looking for fights have some deeper issue, if you know what I'm saying.
Of course. No, but those are the people that shoot people. Those are the...
Yeah.
You know how many people, Alicia, you know how many house parties I've been to in Salt Lake City alone where I've seen people shot?
Like, get shot? There wasn't just a shooting, you saw people get shot?
You know how many people's faces I've seen get blown out of the sides of their face?
What the fuck, Sev?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to do this, but I'm just saying that in Salt Lake City, yes, absolutely.
So,
do you understand? One of our best friends, shout out, I'm not even going to do this. I don't want to go negative tonight. This is supposed to be on comedy. I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
But listen to this, though. Coconut? It doesn't, coconut. Okay, safe word. But, you know, this is a good question, though, because, like, in society, like, even if you're on substance, because I'm a big raver, right? And
right? Hard talks, right?
We're doing hard talks. That's what it's here for.
What's the point of violence? What's the point of violence? That's my question.
There isn't a point. There really isn't. And I don't think there's any rhyme or reason or any level of communication that couldn't be had to resolve it before it got to that level. Even in a scenario such as being at a bar, right? Like, I feel like if you get in a physical altercation in a setting like that, it's either because you are defending yourself, you're either dragged into it, you have to protect your fucking self and your people, or, you know, like, you're looking to just stir some shit up.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously dealing with something far more serious in your own personal life. And but you know what, like, as horrible as that is, I'm sorry that you've had to see horrible tragedies such as that, but this year alone there have been over 400 shootings, mass shootings. And it's gotten to the point now statistically that there's more shootings.
Dude, do you understand? In Thousand Oaks used to be the safest place in California. That dude who came in there and look, can we talk about something mind unraveling? Come on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the benefits of friendship, and let's talk about the fabric of friendship. I'd like to say a few words.
Please do.
Friendship means the most to me. Friendship is the reason why you're hearing me speak. Friendship is the reason why I'm smiling right now. The reason why I'm a father right now. And I just want to say that, to all my friends, every friend, whatever, man, I fucking love you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't got for you.
No, I mean, I think it's going off of that. My son just started kindergarten on Monday.
Damn it, how old is he?
He's 5.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And
just turned 3, and they're trying to pressure me to put him in school. I'm like, you're fucking crazy.
let them be kids. When they're that little, let them be kids. But on the friendship thing, my son was really excited to go to this school. He got accepted into a charter school, and he actually tested it into first grade. Well, so Elliot, he's 5, and
I know.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said I know. I know it's you were talking. I'm just listening.
Sorry, I thought you said which kid, because when you brought up the fact that you had, yeah. So I have a 9-year-old also who is adopted. So when you were talking about your adopted stepfather, that's why I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that you were adopted yourself, because Amanda and my mom's brother was actually the one to adopt my oldest son. And then after he passed away, they moved to Wyoming. So I do have a 9-year-old out there.
Where in Wyoming?
Butt fuck middle of nowhere.
Fuck middle of nowhere. Thank you for saying that.
Literally middle of nowhere.
Say some shit like that.
But so Elliot, he's really nervous to start this new school, and I've been on the fence of starting him in kindergarten or not, because he's so smart, scary smart, that he could go into first grade. And I was like, you know what? I think at this age, I just want to let you be a kid and enjoy this without any added pressure, right? There's already enough added pressure from the rest of the world.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Like, and what the fuck are they gonna teach? Like, if you have, like, the weird thing is, I have the time right now and, like, the space where, like, I can totally do it, and that's what the court, dude, I'm in the middle of this, like, nasty divorce right now.
I'm sorry. I've been there. Mine took like 3 years to finally get through.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not like that for you, because it was wild.
It's over. Everything's cool. It's going to be fine. But I'm just saying that, it's just wild, man. Like, the stuff that we do with one another is so foul. And I want to go on, like, line right now and just say, like, how foul this shit is, Mm-hmm. It's like, if you ever had loved somebody, I don't care what they did to you afterwards or whatever, It's like, especially if y'all have kids, like, most importantly, if y'all have kids, do not do that to motherfuckers, you know?
And it's because so many people, especially on social media, don't look at the bigger picture, right? Misery loves company.
They care about themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You're not caring for the kid, so then you shouldn't be a parent. And you know what? I'm starting a goddamn revolution right now.
Yeah.
I'm saving this for your podcast. Mm-hmm. Is that I'm starting a draft with the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, mm-hmm. and going to regulate and control the birth of children. So
Really?
you got to go through us, okay? You got to come and get a license. You got to fill out some paperwork, okay? You got to
That's interesting.
Like 16-year-old has to do when they learn how to fucking drive, you know?
Yeah.
You got to go to a mental health test and fucking, okay, all right, cool.
Now you can have a kid.
You can get to decide to abort it or not abort it or
adopt or yeah.
Whatever.
Well, so that's interesting. That's really interesting because I say this about marriage, right? It's such a plethora of hoops you have to jump through to get a divorce. But I feel like it should be the opposite, right? To get married, you should have to go through counseling sessions. Even if you're good, you should have to live together for a while.
My dad married us on the beach.
Yeah, and then like if you want to get a divorce, if you guys are toxic or volatile, you should just be able to get a divorce.
No, but do you know how much that cost?
Thousands.
You know how much divorce costs? This is a fact. Blood, I'm absolutely in the middle of this, right? Do you understand how much a divorce costs compared to a marriage? A marriage costs $50. Podcasters, listen to this. I'm in the state of California, in probably one of the richest cities in the fucking world. Yeah? Yeah, I mean? However, a divorce out here is at least $5,000. Period.
My divorce cost me as much as a DUI, $10,000.
No. Not like any which way. That doesn't include like whatever. Like
okay.
Just I'm saying like to actually get it done because somehow for some reason, you can go to the fucking thing in a day, right? Mm-hmm. And you can get a goddamn
get married in the court, yeah.
Get your dad get you fucking all hooked up, but you can't go and get a divorce in the same day. Yeah. It's so weird. It's like literally $50, blah blah blah. On the back end, no.
Well, and divorce is just so hard too because there's still so much emotion that drives people, right? So I know a lot of people who have gone through divorce for years and they just don't want to quit and they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm like, well, what's the point at this? Like, what about the kids? So that's why I mentioned that with your revelation or revolution, is I think that's a really good idea. I think before people have children, they should really fucking have to go through or at least have a psychological test.
A psychological test, and it's not just some 21 dumb shit you can cheat off at the DMV. I'm talking like you need to sit down with somebody who's like just chill, who's like, hey, how you doing today? Seriously, and just let them talk,
So this is a little tangent, but this made me think of this.
What? Here. I gotta say something else too.
Okay.
I gotta shout out golf. I never get a platform.
Golf? Like golfing, the game?
The game of golf.
Okay.
Yeah. Ladies forbidden, so keep quiet.
Continue. What do you have to say about golf? Were we just shouting it out?
No, I'm saying that golf is life.
Golf is life.
I'm a golfer. I was named after a golfer, and my grandfather was a golfer and whatnot. But
are you a golfer?
Yeah, I've been since I was 3.
Right
and
on.
For my son's 3rd birthday, I got him golf clubs.
I love that.
I've been my sweet love, who I've shared my real transformation with and power and everything. She's been learning the game of golf for 9 months, and
good. She deserves a shout out. Give her a shout out.
Big shout out, fucking Alexa.
Shout outs to you, Alexa.
Ed Jones, whoopty whoop. Yep.
Whoop.
But it's my sugar, so.
I love that. I love that for you. But Before I forget, I have to tell you this because this reminded me of this docu-series I just watched. I really like documentaries and whatnot, but I also love music. That has been like my golf since as long as I can remember, you know? Any type of music too, it just moves me. If I have a connection with it, if it makes me feel something, like I love it. What was that?
You listen to dancehall?
I've never heard of them. Dance hole?
It's a dancehall.
Dancehall.
Category of music. It's like Jamaican like reggae music, but it's like a little aggressive. It's like
Well, no, I haven't listened to that specific genre, but I will get down to it because, like I said, like I listen to everything, and people get in my car, and I'll start playing my playlist off of Spotify that has like 8,000 songs on it, and you know, we'll have a little Frank Sinatra come on, and then a little Motown, and then some fucking EDM, and then some heavy metal screamo, and then I got my fucking Nipsey Hussle and fucking R&B and all that shit come on. And so people are like, yo, I got some whips. But I'm like, yeah, but music really is the fabric of my life. And so I started watching this docu-series about Woodstock 99. Have you seen that?
fucking weird, man.
Did you watch it?
Weird time. Like, I was alive right then. I was a little, like, so, let's see. I was 10 years old at that time.
You would have been 12. 87. Yeah, 12.
Oh, I would have been 12. See? I remember seeing that shit, and whatever. It doesn't matter. Man.
But there were over 200,000 people at one stage at one point, and it became violent, and it turned into a riot, and females were raped. I mean, just horrible things came from this, right? And there's even MTV filming a mosh pit scene when Limp Bizkit came on at one point, and the commentator goes, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm watching like Discovery Channel. Let's hope these motherfuckers get kicked in the balls and never breed." And I was just like, oh my God, that is such a valid statement. Some people
say that. I remember hearing that.
Yeah, some people just should not have children, and those people should recognize it, and that's okay.
Well, that's the thing, but you know what's weird about that is like I'm someone who makes love. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a doctor, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a sensual man. I'm a very sensitive man. I cry all the time, and I'm very sincere, you know?
Can we talk about that for a second, though? Because I feel like society's expectation, even though our society has changed so much, and, like, the Me Too movement, etc., like, I feel like the expectation of a man is you still have to be hard, and like crying or mental health is like weakness.
See, here's the thing: is people aren't hard, and here's the thing.
Right.
Look, you can be hard. Like, here's the thing, men. I want to tell you this right now. Okay, I'm a bartender. I'm #1 in the world.
Yes, #1.
Here's some free game for you right now. All right, is that. All you gotta do is just keep it real with your female and just be yourself and stand up for yourself, but be nice, you know? Yeah. Like, that's all it is. It's just, none of that stuff matters. You will always have someone who will fucking look out for you. I promise you. Mm-hmm. Just be yourselves, you know?
Yeah. And to all of my younger listeners who shouldn't be listening, if you're insecure, if you aren't sure of where you stand in life at this point, you already know deep down. You are unique and wonderful and lovely exactly as you are in this moment. And there's a reason if you're listening to my voice and these words right now, you're meant to hear it. So just be your fucking self. You know, like that.
That other shit, man. It's cool. It's fun to play around. You know.
Yeah.
It's fun to tell jokes. It's fun to be other people. It's fun. Like, Halloween is my favorite holiday.
Halloween's my favorite holiday too.
No, you have no idea. Like,
me too.
We're decorating in 2 days.
Right now, like my fall shit is already out. Like my friend with benefits came over a couple days ago, and he's like, "Why are there pumpkins?"
Talk about that.
Let's not. I don't talk about that on the podcast anymore because...
Dude, it's so funny from my end. It looks so funny because it looks like... I'm sorry, I have terrible eyesight, so it looks like a giant set of balls coming.
Right here?
Exactly.
They're just dangling. We're dangling.
I'm so sorry.
But can we make vulnerability the new sexy for every human being?
I think so. I think that that's the mission, you know? Like, is really that just, like, being yourself and being vulnerable is dope, you know?
Your face is cut off. Perfect. That's perfect.
Hold on.
I think it's possible, too. I think we just need to summit that mountain and, like, get over... ego. I think ego and insecurity is what plays into it.
No, it's just ego. I mean, and it doesn't matter. Like, people say that's a guy word, and it's not. It's a word, you know? No.
For so long, I had to nurture my ego. You know, a lot of years, especially when I was young, 13 to 17, because I was that girl who was pregnant in high school, the girl who gave away her baby. You know, I've gotten every tail end of the worst comments, and I've gotten some of the best. But with that situation, it's just like I didn't know myself. I didn't know what I stood for. I didn't know what I wanted, what I believed in. And I think once I finally allowed myself to let down that barrier with myself, I was able to really learn how to love myself and accept myself for everything that I was, including my flaws and including those insecurities that I had. And it just made me that much stronger of a person, you know what I mean? And with a little bit of acceptance and a little bit of patience and being gentle to myself, I was able to really grow and transform and accomplish so many things I wanted to out of this life. And so...
You know how fucking proactive this woman is? She does a million things in a fucking day.
I do. That's why I had to take a mental health break, fam, because... You know, even me, like, even though...
We gotta get it together, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and it's okay to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, my emotional cup is overflowing. And it stems from anxiety for me specifically, right? Because a lot of the time I'll be like, why am I feeling sad or melancholic? Why am I not 100%? And sometimes it's okay... all the time it's okay to be like, I may not understand why I'm feeling this way, but I'm going to live in this moment and allow myself to feel this way to be able to get through it and learn from it. You know what I mean?
It needs self-awareness.
Yes,
look, the first step, look, I pressure everyone who's listening. If you're fucking listening to this thing, try some martial arts.
Okay.
Do something that requires, like, self-discipline, whether it's, like, making your own bed or, like, doing your own laundry or fucking cleaning a house or, like, taking care of
And if you have depression or anything, even smaller than that, like, celebrate those small wins. If you showered today and that was difficult yesterday...
Yeah, let's go.
If you fucking like left your house today, got in your car and went into a different space, you know, more applaud to you know, like it doesn't have to be this big fucking task. Like just celebrate being alive and breathing and celebrate those small wins for sure. For sure. And something I'm going to hop way back to really quick is, you know, you brought up friendship and how important that is, right? You can't maintain or have a healthy friendship or relationship with anyone if you don't have a healthy friendship or relationship with yourself. Point blank, motherfucking period.
Y'all know that. Love starts within, man.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna use jealousy as an example, right? Like if you are on social media and you feel that little green monster like start to come up of like a little bit of envy or jealousy looking at someone else, that's not because of that other person. That's a projection of yourself.
Just like try to have sex with that person.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. That's what you should do.
Me and Amanda went to a retreat not too long ago, and there were a bunch of workshops. And one of the workshops was about intimacy with yourself, right? And they brought up jealousy and envy and insecurity. And she straight up was like, why don't you go masturbate to those thoughts? So anytime you have those negative feelings or thoughts, instead of it being negative, it'll slowly turn into a positive and an orgasmic sensation, right?
Goodness, I cannot wait on it.
So all that pent up anger, Sev, all whatever you're dealing with, go fucking have a moment.
Dude, it's so weird. So I just want to say I'm a dad and Sneak. They just got home. He's in there crying. She's trying to put him to sleep. Right?
Yeah. Well, I can let you go because this
morning. No. This is the funny part. This morning. My son having songs.
You found what? Go back.
He saw us having sex.
Oh. I hate to break it to you, but your child's not the only one. Okay. And it.
Like, what do you do at that point? You know? I'm like, what the fuck do you do?
You just
like,
pause.
Turn around, just fuck off for a second, you know?
We're just having a really heated conversation. Just leave the room for a moment.
Daddy.
But nothing is as embarrassing as when you are having a moment to yourself. And usually those moments for me are in the shower because that's the only time I get privacy. And the locks on my doors don't work. So at least your kid's at a younger age and yours didn't walk in on you making love to yourself.
It happens every day. I'm going to tell everyone on the record, I have no shame. I masturbate while I take a shit, right? So, like, it's my, I'm a dad, I got short, go work, and then she comes home when I go to the work, so it's like, kid and whatever, you gotta space your time out, you gotta occupy it properly, and you gotta really work it out.
You gotta do it. And it's not just for it doesn't just help the negative things and coping with things, but it's also a huge release in endorphins and serotonin, and it lets go of fucking frustration.
Yeah, there's nothing better than masturbation. Mm-hmm.
Masturbation and mental health go hand in hand, friends. It is not fucking taboo anymore. Boom.
Yeah, boom. It's like, good sex is hopefully often, but, it's not common, I wouldn't say, like...
Well, life gets crazy.
Yeah, it's just tough, like...
No, I definitely know. I'm a single mom.
I literally live with a porn star. She is so hot, it's not even real. She's a fucking model.
I fucking love that.
And we sex like 3 times a day, but we're psychopaths,
Mm-hmm. Well,
we are
when I get to partake in a life-altering moment, because they can be transporting. Like, good sex can be transporting, truly. But you have to have the right partner, and I don't know. I've had days where it's like you just can't get enough of it, right? And so I don't think that's a psychopath thing. I think it just means you guys are doing it right. And kudos to you, because I've been labeled the machine by my friend with benefits, and it's like, it's okay. And I also only have small windows to where I can accomplish this. So you better be ready for.
As a parent, though, like, it's weird. It's hard getting laid. Like, imagine that. Like, people don't get that, It's like, you're fucking, it's like, I don't know.
Well, it's hard too because there's this stigma that still surrounds sex, right? Even though it's more openly and easily talked about, it's been perceived as a dirty thing for so many generations, and it's just one of the most natural, most human things that you can do. Same with masturbation. And so it's like, I don't know, I really want to try breaking that stigma. Like, sex is beautiful, it's kind of like substance, right? You have to do it right, in the right mind, in the right setting.
We're fucking 35 years old. I just celebrated my birthday. I'm gonna live for a fucking while. I mean, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Just enjoy it every time you can get it.
No, it's just that I think that honesty is the biggest thing,
Transparency, man.
Yeah, I think that, there's a lot more value to being, actually honest about the things that everyone thinks and deals with, and try to do my best, to be the best man that I can be for my son and my family and everyone I get to know and, stand next to and whatever, So it's weird, from my cat to here now, man, I'm fucking the Green Goblin. But don't get it twisted, I'm still a villain.
Even villains have backstories, Sevi.
Well, that's where I'm laying it out right now. We're going to next Marvel story. We're going to be like, oh my god, my kid is an absolute monster. He's awful. He's only into pumpkins and Halloween and spooky stuff and whatever. I'm totally reaping what I sow.
Yeah.
Right now in real time. It's so wild.
But I feel like not enough people talk about that either. The gift of parenthood is also witnessing your kid transform into this tiny little human being with their own personality, right? And something Amanda and I were talking about was being light with your kids and having fun with your kids and watching them have fun. And it's just it's a whole nother fulfilling thing about parenthood. It's really beautiful.
Extremely beautiful, but it's mistaken constantly. How many, look, I'll tell you right now, the number one problem in this country is unwanted children, period. That creates every single problem in this universe. That's on everything. Unwanted children, fucks people up, and then, whatever. But
well, now, without getting political, now people are fucked to... Anyways, yeah.
No, it's just sad. It's look, and it gets back to our thing of it's a joke, but I'm still kind of being lightweight serious about look, man, you got to get a fucking driver's license. You got to, you can die for your country at 18. You can't have a fucking beard till you're 21, but you can have a kid any fucking time. That's ridiculous to me, man.
Yeah, now 13-year-olds are expected to have babies if that fucking happens. So I don't know. I think
for thousands of years, and
I know, but I think you have a good idea.
That's in dude, you understand the average expectancy for birth from a female
was 13.
13, yeah.
Yeah. And they're all getting impregnated by 40-year-old nasty, wrinkly men. Here's a question that's not so serious. No, here...
He might have been, Beauty and the Beast. He might have been a really good guy, but he just looked bad or something.
Back in medieval days, I disagree. I think that was a shitty
And he was a really nice, handsome man.
I think they were dirty and nasty, and there's just disease and famine, and they're shoveling their poo out in poo buckets, and then they're like, oh, it's a nice little 13-year-old. She has good childbearing hips. I think I'll court her for a day.
Here's another thing that nobody talks about, okay, is the amount of little boys that got fucked, you know? It's like it's always about the women, you know? What about us? What about us?
What do you mean? Go, you need to give me more context on that.
Dude, the most desirable people in the Roman Empire were little boys. That's a fact.
Ew. Well, and I mean, it's still kind of true with the Catholic Church today, so how fucked is that?
I'm not getting political. I'm just saying I'm saying that there's a weird sexual premise in man and woman that needs to be acknowledged, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like,
I agree with that.
You know,
that kind of makes me go ahead. Sorry.
Fun is fun for anyone. Okay, whatever you do, whatever you choose to do, consensual, cool, boom, have some fun and make it regular. You know what I mean? This is my advice to everyone. Make it regular. Say you're bisexual. Say you're gay. Fucking say you're transgender, whatever, and just make it cool.
You know, this is another side tangent, and we'll end it here in the next few minutes, but that also reminds me of something that people don't talk about a lot. But, like, for a lot of my listeners who are not local to Utah, one of the first questions I get is, oh, do you have multiple sister wives or whatever? Like, the stigma still holds strong with polygamy. And it is a growing community in southern Utah still to this day. But
and she is Mormon.
I am not Mormon.
She is totally Mormon, and she is the wife of a polygamist. She's doing this from a concrete basement, 23,000 leagues below sea.
Yes, that is that. I'm actually chained to this chair right now, and Mary Margaret upstairs, she's been hollering at me down the stairs to wrap this up because our husband, descendant of Brigham Young himself, is calling. It's my night to oblige, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, my point in bringing that up was a lot of people are outcasted from the FLDS church or different groups that fall under polygamy because all the young girls are basically given away as property to these older men, these prophets of their church, whereas they will literally shun young.
Speak for men, they're handsome.
Yeah, they will literally shun young boys, young attractive males, because the older men don't want competition with the younger boys, and so they're literally just shunned from their family, from their whole belief system, everything that they've ever known at like 15 to 18 years old, and a lot of them, you know, turn to drugs and they're called lost boys by the FLDS church. It's actually very sad. And
hey, I'm going on record right now. Fuck the LDS church.
Yeah. I would say fuck the institution of religion, but I think it's necessary for a lot of people.
Fuck the Catholic church, fuck the English church, fuck the...
The only one I won't outrightly say is like Buddhism and Taoism. You know, I would say it's...
And that's good stuff. I practiced Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism for like multiple years. I actually have a Gohanzen. I'm fucked for that.
I think it's Christianity though, man. I think it's fuck Christianity. That's what it comes down to, right? Like Western society.
I believe that the other person's wrong. It's like that it takes away from the source of it, right?
Right. Well, and something that as I get older, you know, because I've grown up with people who can handle hearing a differing opinion or perspective or belief system, right, and not get irate, angry, or confrontational. And as I've gotten older, like I've come across people who stand by their politics or their religion and will quite literally like curse their loved ones and cast them out of their families and just like look at them as they're dead. And that's wild to me, right? I have a hard time understanding the perspective of someone who can't understand someone else's perspective. But I know we're running on like an hour and a half. So the last thing I want to say, Sev, is...
Oh, but I want to say something back to that, because that was the whole point that I brought up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of violence?
Right.
It's a serious question, man. Like, I'm not fucking around right now. Like, what's the point of violence?
I think it's a moot point. I think it comes back to ego.
You seriously think so?
I really do.
No,
I
but
really
not
do.
in like, I'm not talking about like a world war scenario. I'm talking about like a personal scenario, okay? Like, what's the point of violence? Let me give you an example, right? Can I speak freely?
Speak freely.
The other night, I'm standing in my own world's favorite bar. Mind you, I'm the number one bar.
The number one, people.
Number motherfucking one. You're. I mean, okay, but oh god, I'm standing in my world's favorite bar. You know what I'm saying? And I'm standing there, and fucking okay. Let me give a little backdrop. My sweet sugar, who's in the room right next door to me, giving my son a bath rub and putting him to sleep, came up to help me close my bar down. And so we closed the bar down. We went to the other bar, which the incident happened, whatever. Mm-hmm. And as we walked up, there was a guy outside, and they have like this weird little, so the stage is like, it's a dive bar, but it's like the backside is like I don't know, what do you call that? Like, it's like a European like auto body shop. Like, they do like custom shit for like really nice cars, you know? Mm-hmm. Anyhow, we're back, and I walked outside to smoke a cigarette, and I smoked Marlboro menthol. Shout out Marlboro.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And this motherfucker, like, when we walked in, he was sitting on the outside bench, but I couldn't possibly explain this properly, but he was sitting on this outside bench that is at my favorite bar, and he had an open container, right, which is illegal in the state of California.
It's even more illegal in Utah.
Yeah, and I'm a bartender, you know what I mean, and like whatever. So anyhow, we walked in, saw that, blah blah, and he was like on the phone yelling, and like he looked like someone shady, right? So like I just left it alone. It's not my spot, whatever. So anyhow, we left, and then we started playing pool, and then my chiquita,
My chiquitita.
Had my back on like a weird situation. He said something like, I ran up to him on some Mac Dre. Like, he was playing Mac Dre in his car, right? And so I ran up and I was like, I was rapping like the lyrics. And he was like,
being your
Dapper,
bubbly self.
blah, 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 blah. You know, like something in common.
Yeah.
You know? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, I walked away, and then he started getting all hot and whatever. Boom, 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 boom. Like, one thing led to another. This man pulled out a knife.
Shut the fuck up.
This fucking big, dude. And, like, chased me inside the bar, and I was like, yo, I'm not doing that, you know? And, like, I had to grab my woman and stuff and, like, put her inside, and it's like, you know, that's my, like, like, I couldn't believe it, man.
See, you know? I think that comes down to, A, he was either on some kind of substance. B,
no. He was
mental health.
Like, But here's the thing. What's the point? I don't give a fuck about that kid. Yeah. Okay? He was an idiot. He was all tatted up, and he's going to prison or he's going to die soon. God bless him. R.I.P. to Lil Man. I don't know who he is, but shout out Lil Man. Right? Yeah. But, dead ass, like, what's the difference on violence, you know? Like, seriously. Dude, my woman was right there. This man pulled out a knife that was goddamn bigger than my fucking forearm, you know? It's like, what the fuck is that?
I think there's no point. I truly don't think that, like, I think, like...
What would you do to defend your son?
Well, if he pulls out a knife, like...
You wouldn't kill somebody to defend your son.
I would fucking kill some... Like, okay, Sev, of course... Like, okay, so, yes, I don't think there's a point in meaningless violence, but that's what going back to what I said originally, absolutely. I'm a fucking... I fucking carry... I'm a fucking hippie, but this world is goddamn wild. I got a 9mm up in my fucking bedroom in a gun safe, and then I got a bat by every fucking door in my house.
Address at 115 South Northwest Street.
Yeah. No, and two, like, I got a bat in my fucking trunk too, so no, like, I have no fucking problem defending myself. I've been in fucking fights before.
What's the point for you? I want to know. I want to touch on that.
So that is what you mean by the point. I mean, like, my son is fucking sacred, and my life is fucking sacred, right? And
so is it just over your son? What about you?
No, it's fucking over me too, right? So, like, we talked about having a deep friendship and connection with yourself. Like, I fucking love myself. Like, if I'm not around, like, it's not just me dying or getting stabbed in an alleyway by someone who's fucking tatted up, probably high off a fucking rock or something. Like...
something.
Yeah, like, defending my life would be like defending my child's, because if I'm not around, who's going to take care of my fucking child? No, right. Like, your life is just as important as anyone else you are willing to jump in front of, like, a bullet for. And don't fucking forget that. Sorry. So when I heard the question initially multiple times before, I thought you meant, like, well, what's the point of violence? I'm like, well, there is none. Like, if it's meaningless violence.
I wasn't saying that.
This story helped with context.
That was really sweet, and I really appreciate that.
No, dude, like, and I would do the same thing. But, like, if you don't have anything to defend yourself in that situation, like, what else are you going to do? It's not about, like...
What I'm saying, it's so peculiar. Like, the world today is so peculiar, and I really wanted to touch on that, is, like, what's the point of violence, and, like, what is the point of violence? But
I think, too, something I want to piggyback onto that is we are in such a weird state, right, where everyone is trying to create this melting pot of love, free love and acceptance. But then there's something very dark happening on the outskirts, where there are those deeply riddled with issues people who will take advantage of any situation, including acceptance and love. And so I feel like people are...
Exactly. So that's the point. That's what I'm saying. Is like, dude, this is how tragedies happen. Like, look, all I wanted to plug you with, like, for real, on everything was the Hippie Gangster. You still gotta be tough a little bit too, you know?
Yeah.
I highly encourage everyone to do your push-ups, eat your Wheaties, do your pull-ups, do your sit-ups, and, like, you know, just take care of yourselves and take care of your family and be nice to people. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the first thing is love and, you know, levity. Like, laughter is the universal language. I don't give a fuck who you are, where you from,
Well, and laughter is the best fucking medicine.
Period. Is medicine, you know? It's like everybody knows certain shit's funny, you know?
No. And I think that's a great thing to end on. I'm really glad that you clarified that, because that's a fucking great point to bring up, and that was a great conversation we just had, right? I mean, and everyone who's listening, like, really, like, think about that scenario. Like, what would you do? What would you do?
Seriously,
And why?
where is the point of violence? Seriously, and I encourage everyone who listens to this to really, truly think about that. If I could do anything, like, what is the point? You know, what is the point? But there's a point, but what's the point? But where is the point?
Where is the line until violence comes into play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Well,
Where
and
is
as a
it?
female,
Why is
too,
it?
speaking...
How do we avoid it, and how do we heal that and change that, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how can we be better? Because, you know, I'm a ninja, and I like to think that I'm smarter than motherfuckers too. So I hope you can ninja the way out of that situation.
Yeah. And speaking to all of my female listeners, right? Like, as women, like, we have that worry in the back of our minds on a consistent, everyday basis. Walking out from a bar alone, you know, going out alone, pumping your own fucking gas, like going to the grocery store. Who fucking knows in this day and age, right? But, you know,
My mom went on a date with Ted Bundy. You want to hear that story?
we might have to save that one for next time, but that's fucking wild.
I wouldn't have been here if she didn't.
Dude, that's fucking
What's up?
wild. Yeah, no, so women, like, open your eyes, be
Women are
self-aware.
the shit. Women are the shit. Men suck. Women rule.
Yeah. There is no God, guys. It's a female. She's a goddess. I hate to break it to you, but no, like, take care of yourselves. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of who you are spending your time with. How you're going to get home if you're out, you know, having a good time. You know, like, make sure you make a plan as a woman to like, get home safely and take care of yourselves. And two, like, I love that you said that. International Hippie Gangsta said it best. Have all the love, be accepting of everyone, but do not bring your guard down. Like,
Never.
keep it up, right? You know, you are the one, you are the captain of your ship. You as your person, you are the one who is driving that train. So
You're born by yourself and you're going to die by yourself. I hate to break it to y'all, but that's how it is.
No.
And
I say that all the time on this show. We as ourselves are our only constant, truly. And this ever-changing web of life, because change is fucking beautiful. I love change. I beckon it at this point in my life. But people come and go. You are your only constant. So fucking take care of yourself. Protect yourself. Protect your light. And
hey, but let me ask 2 questions, because you ask me questions all the time. I wanted to ask you a couple.
Okay.
What's it like being a single mom this second?
This second is really good. That's a loaded question, because it differs every day. Sometimes
What's the most offensive thing that you want to say right now?
the most offensive thing I want to say right now is, I don't know.
Seriously?
I really don't. Well, what's the most offensive thing you'd
You don't
say?
have anyone to say fuck you to?
No, I don't.
You know,
I don't
shout
carry
outs-
myself that way anymore. I used to.
What do you mean you do? Everyone has someone to say fuck you to. I don't care who you are. My father, he's a fucking gentleman and a scholar, but he could go fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Everybody can say fuck you to somebody.
I would absolutely say fuck you to my ex-husband, because he makes my life pretty difficult. But we are on good terms as of this recording. Obviously, that changes every day too. I've just gotten to a point in my own healing and whatnot that I try and, like, if I were to die tonight, I don't want anyone, like, I don't want to have bad shit between anybody, including the people who have done me the most harm and who have betrayed me.
Yeah, but it feel good to say fuck you sometimes?
It does. It does. And I do that in privacy.
Oh,
I don't talk
be
about him on this
This is
show.
about honesty, right? It's not about the person, all right? It's not about the person. It's about the therapy of saying fuck you. Fuck. You know how long I do it? Listen to this. Fuck. You.
You know where I say
Yeah.
fuck you is usually like over a lake, on a mountaintop, or into a pillow, because for me it's like you already said, it's not about the person, it's everything all at once. With my anxiety, it's just like I get so overwhelmed sometimes that I will scream and I will cry and I will punch things, and you need that release
good for you.
sometimes. Yeah.
So fucking good for you.
But
good for you.
pinpointing one person specifically, nah, like not necessarily anymore. Hold on one second. My kiddo is at the door. Or hold on one second.
My kid is screaming too.
I know. Okay. Well, Sevi,
Hey,
I
look.
appreciate
Hey,
you.
Hey, look.
Come
You guys.
in. Come in.
We're throwing a super spooky pumpkin party. Y'all
Okay.
can all come. It's shit. It's by, we'll just call it La Cumbre Country Club. I'll come through. He's gonna be old. It's gonna be about it. We got Master P performing the halftime
Perfect.
show.
Thank you.
It's gonna be a haunted house. There's gonna be drinks and ortives and blah blah blah. And it was so wonderful being a guest on, their wonderful show
Yes.
here.
Sevi, thank you for taking the time out of your crazy busy schedule, being #1 bartender in fucking Santa Barbara. It's always good
Not
catching
Santa
up.
Barbara, it's in the country. Show me some respect.
Show you in the country. I show you my respect. No, I really do. I've always respected the shit out of you.
I'm not I'm not a monkey. I don't put a drink in a glass, and that's not a racial joke at all.
He's
Is like literally people do that. Like people think like, oh, so you make it like a really nice cocktail. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm gonna force you to have a shot and a beer, but you're gonna love me. You're gonna kiss me on the way out.
well, no, seriously, I've always had such mad respect for you. I'm so stoked that you wanted to be on the show. Thank you for catching up. And next time we record an episode, because we have so much more to talk about, I hope to have you sitting next to me in person.
Dude, that's my seat.
I
got a
dare
seat,
you.
Right? Yo, you guys understand? Shout out Shit Did. You understand? My big bro that gave me the game. That was our thing. I have a seat. So is there 8? Unless you.
Okay. I'm going to wrap this up. We'll be in touch, though. This will drop tomorrow, so I'll send you the link for it and everything. So just share it to all your peeps. You guys, I appreciate you listening. I love you guys so much. You're such beautiful human beings. Don't ever forget that. If you want to give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook, you can at Hard Talks with BNH. We are also on Twitter at Hard Talks with B1. If you want to send...
Also, if you want to have sex tonight, we're at 277555 San Luis Obispo 93105. Just come through and you knock 3 times, and I promise you it'll be cool. We got candles, we got roses. Don't worry.
It's going down. It's going down. If you guys want to send us an email chiming in on this episode or any comments or whatever, you can email us at hardtalkswithbnh@gmail.com. But until next time, you guys, and Sevi, I love you. I love you all. Have a great rest of your week.
Hey, do.
Bye.